It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Not my brother, not my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Not my brother, not my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. We're going to stop there for sake of time. I'm going to set a timer for 25 minutes. I'll give us 5 minutes extra at the end, a little buffer, to wrap up our lesson. Welcome to the third installment of this lesson, since we had an opportunity to teach it on Sunday. This is technically our fourth, because we got this for an hour on Sunday, but this topic needs that much space, so it's a blessing that we got the extra time to unpack this, and it's easily possible because I'll be missing next Wednesday that we might bleed a little bit into June's lesson, which is Does God Hear Us?, which is an altar lesson. It's 6 months since the first of the year. It's just time is scooting along nicely in 2017. We're going to talk a little bit about some practical things that hopefully we can utilize today, tonight, or even if we're already utilizing these things, we could revisit them and examine them. And the title of our lesson is Help. And if we had a subtitle today, it's going to be Help Through the Words We Say and the Actions That We Live. Help, the words we say, and the actions that we live. The reason is that we kind of gotten a room definition of what help is, but I really want to examine the idea of the variety of amazing human interactions that can change the tone of the environment simply by the words that we use and how we say them. I want to make it clear too, I oftentimes refer to this idea of I have this non-yelling strategy in my relationship, and I grew up in an environment that was encouraging us not to yell and anger at each other. But there's also something important too, that volume is the only way to regulate aggression. You can be quiet and say something very hurtful and damaging to somebody, and it's not just volume. So the idea is that there are things that can be whispered to you on a phone, yelled at you on the phone, and then can change your reality by the words that are said. But I want to slow down a little bit and just think about words and how our actions and our words can have impact on how we can help. The reason it's significant is that help is something that we learn early on. I love children because children oftentimes be like, help a lot because they can't do a lot. There's a lot of them they can't hardly get their shoes on. I mean, Trenton is great because he always puts his shoes on the wrong feet, so he has shoes on the wrong feet. But I remember I had Velcro and I would have whole different shoes. I would have Adidas on one foot and a Nike on the other foot, and I'm rolling, Help, right? And we have Velcro because tying a shoe seemed complicated. Help. This is something that kind of helps us define our childhood. And so for me, I think when we think about help, sometimes because of our environment, the things that were help to us in quotation marks and things that we define as help, as adults, we find out they are not exactly the best way to receive or give help. The reason it's significant is that this is not a situation where we want to blame, but source. We aren't talking about, I could do better. It's more of like, where does that come from? Let's get to the root of that, and we can pray and meditate and work on the root of that. I want to start with the idea of something called tone. Now, this don't sound like a technical speaking lesson, but it's not. It's more of like universal language. Now, I just want to kind of give you an example. If you were going to talk to a 1-year-old and you were going to say you like their outfit, how would that sound? Can you give us an example of how you would tell a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old that you like their outfit?
Oh, I like your outfit.
You like their outfit. How that's good. How would anyone else give an example? How would you say it? That's a good example. Anyone else have a version of that, or a version of their own version how they would tell a 1-year-old how they like their outfit?
It'll be like that, but louder.
Give me an example. We're live action here. Get some acting skills. Take us there. I'm 1 year old. I got this cool shirt on.
Wow, Aaron, that's so awesome shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good. Not bad. Not bad. It's a tie between Clayton and Kazai. You must want to get a third option of addition here for talking to a 1-year-old. We don't have one here, the example, but how would you talk to a 1-year-old? What kind of tone? Give me an example of how you would speak to a 1-year-old.
Well, it depends whether you've been talking to them in the past.
This is your kid. This is your cousin. You know him well.
With Trenton, you say, Trenton, I like your shirt. Do you like it? Yes.
He's almost 3 though. Let's get like a 1-year-old. He works. He's already having deep conversations about life at this stage. 1-year-olds not so complex.
That's true.
In their communication. They're complex in their reception. All right, so I want to pause here and say, if we were gonna speak to somebody that was, say, I don't know, 25, family member, one of us here, and you like the shirt, for example, because Tajana talked about my shirt today. She said, I like your shirt. But give me an example of how you would speak to an adult that you hang out with someone in this room, and you would compliment their shirt. How would you do it?
Go on, say that then.
Go ahead, Alicia.
Ask your question again.
The question is, if you're going to compliment someone like myself, an adult, you're going to talk about that's a nice outfit you have on, or you're going to how would you talk to another adult? Yes, Joe.
That's an awesome shirt you got.
Awesome shirt you got it right there. I like that. Okay. Kazai, how would you do it?
I like that color you're wearing.
Get a little complex on the color you're wearing. Interesting talent. Alicia, do you want to add to that, or Tajana? Alicia, do you have one?
No, I don't.
All right, Alicia.
Depending on the adult, like if it's like older, around my parents' age and older, I'll get like, oh, that's a very nice outfit, and then, oh, did you get that from Kohl's?
Where'd it come from?
And then like if it's around my age, I'll be like, wow, that's a really nice, cool shirt. Like, oh, didn't Justin Bieber have that shirt in that video? Or
Yeah.
something like that.
Snap, taking that style. It's great. Mommy.
I remember a compliment given to me, and it's been many years, but it was so amazing I still remember it. I was at Pacoima, and I had on a favorite outfit. It wasn't previously my favorite color, but this outfit was. It was a floral skirt with a lavender blazer, and it was soft and quite beautiful as far as the feel. I was walking across the grounds, and Matthew Brown was over at another angle, maybe halfway the distance away from me of the width of the yard. And I saw him head toward me. He said, Sister Alice, I had to walk over here and tell you how nice you looked. It was sweet. He was a young man.
Excellent. No, this is very good. So the last part of this question is, have you ever seen someone that they had an outfit on and they know they look good? You know this you've seen these people? Right? And we're not necessarily going to compliment directly, but if you see that person, you see the way they walk, their body language, their stride, what might be a comment you might make when you notice them walk into a space? How would you... Huh? Alicia says poser. Okay. How would you respond to that person?
Looking clean today.
Looking clean today? Okay. What would you say, or what would you and your friends might say? It could be something you would say, or something someone would say about this person that's walking and they know they look good. This is their day. Oh, you go ahead. Just spout it out. We have 20 minutes to go, so. Yeah, yes.
You're looking real sharp.
Looking real sharp. Nice. Now, this person may or may not hear you. You could be talking to yourself or talking to them. How would you respond with this person walking by? They're kind of quiet.
Someone's going to say it for him?
I don't know. I'm just waiting. I see a lot of smiles. So I was like, I'm waiting for the phrases.
It's like, oh, clearly they got their check today.
We're going to check today. That's a good one.
Oh, you wouldn't say that.
That's good. This is good.
Oh, that
No,
was
this
bad.
is common. This is rare. They might not hear this one. They might not hear this. They give something you say amongst your friends. Anything else that would be like something they might not say to their friends.
I've heard some people say about other people.
Sure.
It's like, oh boy, you clean up good.
You clean up good. That's the phrase I've heard. What's another phrase that might be said when you see them walk in, they just strutting their stuff?
They think they looking good.
They think they looking good.
Looking
They know they looking. You know how she walks, she knows she's looking good. Yeah.
No, they looking good.
No? You had your thinking. Okay, anything else? This is important. This progress. Huh? They are feeling themselves. We have a phrase. Now we're getting to some language we're talking about. It's a different kind of a phrase here. Because they're walking around like, I know this outfit is it. These heels are on point. Anything else we would say? We see someone strutting their stuff. They might come in and just sit down like,
Looking
just
so
happy about
fly today.
themselves. Looking so fly today. Yes. Anyone else want to add to this list here?
Oh, so it's here today.
Huh?
Like they're trying to show off. So you're like, oh, I know definitely Alex must be here because they're dressed like this.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, something's different. This is someone that's trying to impress somebody. It's a specific goal on this. Yes.
Sometimes I just say it's showtime.
It's showtime. This is another it's showtime, right?
It's showtime.
So where we're going here is that we talked about how we would talk to a 1-year-old. We talked about how we talk to our peers that they hear us. And we kind of got some great phrases we would say, but they might not hear us, right? And so the idea is that we're dealing with the context of a lesson is sometimes a compliment can be also an attack, a critique,
Yeah.
a hurt. And sometimes people grow up in a home where this happens commonly. Like you say something about my shirt, I say something about your shoes. We just kind of roll this way. We don't even think about it. This is the way we roll. It's like someone said to me, if I mess with you, if I make fun of you, it means I like you. I'm like, well, don't like me. You know what I mean? Stop liking me like this, right? Just bagging on me for 20 minutes. I didn't realize that was love, right? But in the environment they were in, it was how they expressed love. I just have a dark sense of humor. Always, like did we ever have a mix here,
Yeah.
Variety is bad, but this is not a critique of the phrases. I have a list of phrases that we've gotten from athletes, being athletes in the locker room. We have phrases we say to people. We have phrases we say to other people. It's really kind of amazing on how sometimes there's a compliments and then there are compliments that are not actual help. So the title is
And like people will
Help with Our Words.
say
All right,
something and
and I want to move to some scriptures real quick, because I know we're gonna get out of scripture real quick, and I want to get to these scriptures I have here. I want us to go to Proverbs 22:6, and I want to go to Proverbs 22:16. And if you have those, just be like, I got it. Proverbs 22:6, I got it. Proverbs 22:16. You got 22:6?
Got it.
All right, we need 22:16.
22 and 16.
Yeah, it's just a couple more verses down. What I want to say about this is that a lot of these things that we talk about, showtime, or she knows she's looking good, or who's she here to impress? Thank you. These are things that we learn. These are learned behaviors. This is not saying that we have anything wrong, but it's more of like noticing how our language, we call our kind of personal culture, can impact the outside culture, and how the outside culture can impact our personal culture. And culture, we're talking specifically about words here, how we communicate, how we say, you look nice. Because we don't go to a grown person and go, oh my goodness, you look so cute. They be like, what's wrong with you? And I'm grown. I'm talking like that. I'm grown, right? And if you don't go to a kid and be like, yeah, you tight. We talking about tight. I don't understand what tight is, right? You Showtime, huh? What show is on? They won't understand the kind of what you're referencing because they're not quite in that place of understanding the culture, what you're saying. You gotta say colors. You gotta say it very specifically. You gotta use your face expression. I love how Uncle said, you look, and her face will express like, oh my goodness, because oftentimes our face can give away our message. So we can say something very nice, but our tone and our face can make it sound negative, right? It's all about understanding the tone. So I want to go to the scripture because I want to talk about one idea is that this is something that happens early. We start out really early how we learn how to. I see kids at young ages learning, boogers in your face, your zipper's down. They kind of figure out ways to critique each other and learn how to say things. And so we want to talk about the scripture here. Let's go into Proverbs 22:6.
Oh, I thought you told him to read 16.
Oh, yeah. Who has 22:6?
I'll get it.
Oh, I think Portia has 16.
It's fine, Proverbs 22:6.
Sure.
Proverbs, just a minute. Proverbs 22. Just stay where you are. Okay, verse 6.
Yes.
Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Now, this is a complex topic because a lot of people say, well, I raised my kid a certain way and this is where they are as an adult. What's really important here is that the Bible acknowledges that it's important early influence. It's not just parents raising children, it's siblings impacting siblings. It's siblings or cousins impacting cousins. It's anyone that's in our younger group. We have groups of children that come here that we can parent them and raise them in the way. And part of it is not just reading Bible scriptures. It's not just memorizing them for candy. It's not just coming to church on Sunday. It's our actions. It's how our tone of voice when someone for the 15th time takes a songbook and throws it. It's how we communicate with them. And not that we can't discipline children. It's not that at all. It's not that we can't critique. But understand that we're training them on how to respond, on how to receive help. Because oftentimes you find when children are running in church, that's a constant thing I did as a kid, and I get in trouble for playing tic-tac-toe in church, is that my parents weren't just disciplining me, they were helping me be a better person. They were helping me understand how to respect others. And I remember there was a time where I was upset at my sibling. I punched my sister in the stomach, and I won't forget my mother's clear communication about how you never want to hit a young lady in the stomach, or anyone for that matter. But it was very clear, 20 plus years past that period of time, it's very clear. Now, I don't not hit people because she said that. I not hit because she backed it up with a lifetime of nonviolent communication and behavior. So when we talk about raising a child in a way that won't depart, it's not just the words that we say, it's not just the stories that we share, it's the life, like we always said, we're helped through words and actions. It's our actions on how we raise ourselves and carry ourselves is going to be a big part of the message that we're going to absorb as children, as young adults, as mentees. And I remember there were times at Cal Arts, when I was living at Cal Arts in Valencia, I had a picture of my Sunday school group on the wall. And it was a reminder that even though I'm 80 miles away, 150 miles away from my actual Sunday school class, I only see them every couple of weeks. It's really important that I understood that my actions there at Cal Arts impacted my Sunday school class. Even though they weren't there to witness it, what I bring back, the examples I learned, the things that I absorbed, were going to be tools that I invest into them when they're in college or going into college. I have a context of how to do it and do it right. I can't say, well, I messed up here, so I don't know exactly how to do it right. I say, well, I fought through some of these similar challenges and overcame an environment that's difficult to overcome. We're going to do Proverbs 22 and 16.
He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth the rich shall surely come to want.
So this is a complex topic, and it might be like, where does this fit in help? It's about who we help. It says if you get basically wealth from stepping on poor people and taking advantage of people that are in need, there are many examples in our culture. Walmart's a good example of that. McDonald's is a good example of that. You know, these companies are tremendously successful financially. They really benefit from not paying people and not giving people proper resources to kind of survive, to keep them hungry, and to make food as cheap as possible so they can kind of keep their overhead intact. What's said is that if you do this kind of toxic cycle, that you will be in want. And I want to say that if we took poor people and replaced them with children, and I think children aren't necessarily poor, but they only can get what they were given. They can't, the 3-year-old can go out and like build a house or, they only have what they have, right? What they're given. And so if oftentimes we get who we're mentoring, the people that are not as able, if we take advantage of them and benefit financially and go, oh, I made out well. And it could be children, it could be anyone that's less privileged that you have, that you will be in want eventually. Mm-hmm. And this is not just want financially, this is a want spiritually. That your spirit's going to be lacking that fulfillment. You might get quick rich. It's going to catch up with you. And the reason it's important is that in the culture we live in today, sometimes we live in a country as wealthy as America, we don't even notice we're actually stepping on somebody. We don't even notice we're benefiting from someone else's distress. And so I think it's important for us to understand that to pray and ask God to help us understand how our help can be help not in a damaging way. Now, that being said, I want to also give major respect to sometimes you have to put extra critique, maybe even a spanking or a quick discipline for someone that's running the street. Or my mom would say running in the parking lot. And someone might say, well, that just seems so abusive and horrible, until a child's running in the parking lot and gets ran over. If we had to pick a two, children don't understand, they're 3 years old, what that means they don't run in the parking lot. They might not see the dog over them just when they say don't go outside the yard. They don't understand the consequences of the action they're doing. And so the reason this is a very interesting phenomenon is that there are certain times where I look at empathy or having a clear picture of someone's struggle, is that they have, when I first moved out and went to Cal Arts and kind of got on my own, I always share about how I didn't understand how much I ate until I had to pay for it myself. But there's also a certain amount of spiritual responsibility I didn't understand either, because I always had this kind of cocoon of people around me that supported me. And so I want to kind of bring this a point up of help, is that when a young person transitions to either from middle school to high school, there's not just a graduation of a grade. There's a graduation of spiritual warfare. The battles they have in junior high are different than the battles they have in high school. The battles you think are so bad when you're in high school change when you get to college. And the battles you thought, oh my goodness, college is so crazy, we have all this freedom and all these parties and all this stuff. When you graduate from college, there's a new battle that you must face that's different than the one in college. And you might think, oh my goodness, I'm out and I'm out and I'm in the world, I got a job, I got a house, I'm stable. Now I'm gonna get married. There's a new battle after you're married, right? And then you might say, wow, okay, now I got married, I got my house, I got my job, okay, I'm gonna have a kid. Bam, guess what? There's a new level of help you need. Yeah. And so I wanna make sure that we acknowledge that you don't speak to and help a junior high child the same way you help a high school student, and so on and so forth. That each help is customized and thought about at the level that person is at. And that we shouldn't get too judgmental or judging them and saying, oh, when I was your age, I used to work a full-time job and help my whole entire family. When I was 12, I dropped out of school, and that was your narrative in your period of time. But make sure we understand that this is a different narrative, different period of time. But the help should be aware. It should be a conscious help. And this help can't be conscious without being divine. Because we can't speculate. I think teachers have one of the hardest jobs. The reason one of the hardest jobs is because I remember when I was in middle school and the teacher said, Aaron, if you can't write cursive, and if you can't look words up in the dictionary, I don't know how you're going to graduate from college.
Like this.
I was just like, I don't know what to do. I can't look up words in the dictionary. I don't even know. I haven't seen dictionary in so long. You know what I mean? It's like
all you do is you see pictures of cursive now.
Yeah.
And you don't have dictionary, you have Google.
No.
Or Siri.
She didn't know Google. She didn't know Siri. She was trying to prepare me for a future she had no clue what it was.
Exactly.
But what's so beautiful is that with God's help, we get to help and he gets to know what the future is. So that's why we say the song that I always like to sing is called God's Way is Best, even though we can't see.
Yes.
Right? What we're saying here is the help we're giving is not just like, this is my advice, It's like, this is what God impressed on my heart. Sure, junior high, when I was at Quail Valley, I was the first 7th grade class at Quail Valley. First one. They didn't have an 8th grade class. They had a grade. They didn't have a 6th grade class. They had 7th and 8th. They didn't have 6th grade. My point is that the help that Aaron needed back in 1994-ish, 1996, is different than the help that Kazai needs in 2017, as far as what she's dealing with at that point. So divine help is a living help. It's not a stagnant, stiff help. It's not you learn cursive and then you'll be okay in college. It's much more advanced than that. It's relevant because it moves with the generations. It moves with oppression. It moves with the government structure organically. It updates on its own. And so when we're talking about help, we're not just talking about giving something or saying something nice. It's about being divinely touched, divinely impressed upon, and understand the philosophy is intact. So we're about out of time here, so I want to just bring up a couple of thoughts that we're going to unpack here, hopefully more in the last Wednesday of this month. And that is, when we're looking at being powerful in our help, it's not about resource that we have physically. It's about the resource that we have spiritually. It's about how divine our help is. The young boy that gave the 5 fishes and loaves, I referred to a couple Wednesdays ago and talked about him a lot. In that narrative, it's also important to understand that he probably wasn't the only one at that place that had a lunch. Out of those 7,000 people, there was someone else that had a lunch. But he understood that his help was going to be divine. It was a divine 5 fishes and loaves, and now 7,000 people ate. So for me, it's not that you have the most, it's that you have God's blessing when you give it. And I think I want to be vague about that. I want to be very clear about what that looks like. You might say, well, how do I know I have God's blessing? I gave that $5 to that person. I don't see what God did. Oftentimes, we don't always know how big God's in the blessing or it happens within our lifetime even. We might do things that help children, that we may never see them get married, have 4 kids, and that one kid they had is raised differently because of action we did when they were 5 years old. And then they raise a child differently. You might say, that sounds kind of weird and cryptic. But God's hand is already seeing us. God already saw me at 35 almost years old when Grandpa Chandler was a little boy trying to figure out some stuff. He already thought about me. God already had thought about what's happening with me and the actions he could take. And so the power is that our help is not just about us. Our help is not just about what's in front of us, but our help is based upon God's power flowing through us. Song we sing often says, send the power down. We want to ask God, says, God, when I give this $5, when I give this person a ride, when I think of my child this way, I want you to send the power down through my help to contradict whatever is in front of this child environment. And that kind of conscious giving is what the 5 fish and loaves is. Yes?
I think also like touching on the 5 fishes.
Mhm.
What is it? 5 fishes.
5 fishes and loaves.
5 fishes and loaves is, I think what that lesson also like highlights for me is like to always check your heart and what's your reason for doing it.
Yeah.
Because you can say that you're helping someone, but is it really about helping them or is
Yeah.
it about making yourself feel big?
Yes.
You know, but they don't.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can hide that you're really helping them, but in reality, it's just stroking your own ego.
Yep. That brings up a good point. The song we sang, number 96, the last verse, it says I gotta read it. It's so powerful. It's something that's so subtle, but fits right in what Portia's talking about. Because there's a reason why we may help somebody for our own sake, and this is a poetic response, but I feel like it's an appropriate acknowledgement because it describes exactly. It says, tell me not then of the pleasures that sting, coiled under roses of pride. And one of the reasons why I'm giving $1,000. Look at me. Get my tax write-off, please. Because I ain't going to get it on tax write-off. If I don't give, I lose money. So I got to give, right? It's about us. It's about us. And I think what happens is that there's nothing wrong with getting a tax write-off, but that shouldn't be, I ain't giving unless I can get that. I'm giving because I know this is important to give. This is about divine taxes, if we want to go there. It's about the blessing I'm going to get way beyond now. And it's not even like I'm relying on it. I know this is the right thing to do. Yes.
Yeah, and I think elaborating on that, like today I sat in class and I watched basically a professor just like put a whole group on blast, and that was just what helping them.
Yeah.
Was basically humiliating them in front of the whole class. And I thought to myself, like, one of the biggest ways that I can contradict that is by being what I wish those people would have been to me.
Yeah.
Because the same way that the negative energy is flowing, you also have that positive energy flowing in the opposite direction.
Yes.
And so, like, for me, listening to this lesson, it just really highlights that just because everybody else hasn't given up their lunch doesn't mean you hold on to yours.
Exactly. Our model is the divine help. Our goal is want to sit in divine help. It's a powerful place to do and to live. Because when you live a life of divine help, it's surprising how much, when your organic body has to stop, how much, we talk about the wake that's left after a ship in the ocean that can go for miles and miles, the wake after your life, the path that's been laid before you, many people can follow it and know how to get there and know how to have impact and know how to appreciate the sacrifice after sacrifice that you gave in a divine sense that no one even heard about. And I think to me that's always surprising when someone passes away and then someone else discloses the quiet gifts and quiet things that this person has done that no one knew they even did. This is the end of our lesson. We're at 30 minutes, but I want to appreciate all of your attention, your comments, reading of the scriptures, and participating. I hope that we can use this topic to go out and think about the tone of voice, to think about our divine power, and help God give us the strength to make sure that we help in a powerful format, in a powerful way that He is pleased with. Because I know that Jesus has given us an example, and I think for us, it's not just the words we use, it's how we say it. It's not just what we give, but the heart behind how we gave it. Portia so elegantly emphasized. And it's also important that we don't look at our help as like one help helps all. God can help all, but it's custom to our narrative, to our story. So a child in a spiritual battle in junior high, he helps according to that. Someone's spiritual battle in high school that maybe lost a parent, they help them a different way. A parent that has had 20 kids or 5 kids or 2 kids, God helps them a different way. Each battle is unique to themselves. The most powerful thing is that we have a divine connection as we seek help and as we reach out for help. We talk about the lesson next month about does God hear us, and make sure we pray about our list. You also want to pray about your list of help. If like, God, I want to give this gift, but is this the right time? Is this the right gift? Is this the right amount? Let God be that dictator. Sometimes it's important. God says, give it all. And you go, God, I don't have rent. Give it all. And sometimes God says, don't give any. Hold back. Keep it all. But listen to God's hand. It's important to understand that if you do listen to His hand, when it does move, the impact is tremendous. The impact is bigger than we ever can make it. Thank you all. I hope that you use your divine help thinking and continue to help this community. And we appreciate all the help you've probably already given to this community and to each other. But we want to make sure we're kind of inspired and motivated to really put our minds and hearts on the power of divine giving. Thank you for your time.